Yeah, you know what it is. We out here for the Mike Ruga podcast. I got the lovely, the legendary Jaci Velasquez with me.
What's up?
Over what? 2 million albums sold, right?
Yes.
I had to put that out. I had to put that out there. Over 2 million sold for the record. So people be like, who's that? Nah, man, she's like our Celine Dion in the Christian world. That's what she is. She's our Beyonce in the Christian world. But speaking of that, let everybody know how you started singing.
Well, I started traveling with my parents when I was 9 years old. My dad was a pastor prior to that.
Oh, really?
And yes, he was a pastor. So, but he just felt like he wanted to start traveling and go basically become an evangelist, which just means like a traveling pastor that kind of gives a pastor of a church the Sunday morning off so that he preaches in place of them. So we started traveling and I was 9. So I was homeschooled in the backseat of a car. So that was,
Trying to do your homework in the backseat.
Yeah, it's like, it was not easy.
Dad, watch out for the speed bumps.
Right. So my penmanship is still poor. Real bad. So when I was we were traveling on from, state to state, city to city, and church to church to church. And by the time when I was 13, somebody heard me sing for the National Day of Prayer in Houston, Texas. And they sent a videotape back to Nashville.
And that's where you was born, in Houston?
I was born in Houston, born and raised in Houston.
H-Town.
So, yes, very much.
Sorry, that's what rappers do, H-Town. She was like, what's he doing?
I'm like I don't know what that means.
What gang sign is that? No, this means H-Town. The rappers do it, so. So like, H-Town, okay.
So, H-Town, I guess, what do you do again?
The H, that's the 2 H's.
Oh.
And then the H in the middle.
See, you learn something new every day. I love this. Okay, so they sent a videotape back to Nashville. Who became my manager, he saw the videotape, and they asked us to come to Nashville, and I got a record deal when I was 14.
Wow, just like that.
Yeah, because thank God. I mean, it was a gift from God for sure, but yeah, I was 14, got my record deal, and I started recording my first record, which was called Heavenly Place, when I was 15.
Classic.
And it came out when I was 16.
What did your dad say? I'm sure he was thrilled.
Oh, yeah, my parents were, of course, so proud and so thrilled. But, we had to kind of, at that time, we were kind of homeless. We lived in our motorhome because we were traveling so much. So when I got my record deal, we actually got a place here. And I remember thinking, wow, I have a bedroom instead of living in our motorhome. So,
but I wouldn't call it homeless because your dad was chasing the dream or the grind.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm sure y'all would have had a house if he didn't want to be a traveling pastor.
Yeah.
So I always feel like, I wouldn't call it homeless. I would just say, he was on the grind.
Yeah, on the grind. H-Town and on the grind. I love it.
Yo, Jackie better come out with a rap album like.
Can you imagine? Oh my goodness, Mike, I have to tell you something.
What?
So oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. So I did when I was 12. My husband's going to laugh at me for telling you this. When I was 12 years old, I did a record it was a custom record. So we would sell them at churches when we were traveling as a family. When I was 12, I recorded a rap song with my dad.
About it. You got bars? Do you remember it?
Yes.
Can you want to spit it for us?
Oh my gosh.
Real quick, Jackie got bars.
Okay, this is so embarrassing.
You need a beat or just acapella?
No, I don't know if I could even keep it to a beat. My rhythm is so bad. Okay, it was early in the morning, rising from my sleep.
Okay.
I can't do it.
You got one line now.
So embarrassing.
I want to hear it.
And so it was funny because my dad and I had to rap together. So it was like, and my dad, he's like old. And
old
so
school.
No, old. No, he so I can't remember how the rest of it goes, but early in the morning, rising from my sleep, I asked my soul to keep, never realizing that my
Okay,
I'm done. That's it.
Bars, Jackie got bars, people. Smack. H-Town, baby. Yo,
Yes.
Trade the Truth. You got to sign
So
her.
it's actually on a record that you could probably find on the internet
Wow.
somewhere on YouTube, and the song is actually called "Time Keeps Moving." Yes, so if you ever want to hear me rap, it's
On YouTube.
bad. I showed my kids one time.
What
They were
do?
like, "Mom, what is wrong with you?" I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to show that to anybody else," and I just told the whole world about it now. Okay.
No, but if you want to check her out, we out here, baby. H-Town J got bars. But so you started, you signed your deal, and then from there, I'm assuming the plans changed.
Well,
Like your dad stopped traveling.
Yeah, they stopped traveling.
Focused on your music career.
Yeah, so I then went on tour with Heavenly Place when I was 16, and I was opening for a group called For Him. So that was fun, and then that record kind of every single that they released for my record went #1. So it was like, wow, everything started happening really, really fast.
Especially your age.
Yeah.
I'm sure your eyes was big and like your eyes was big and just.
I felt like Cinderella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 18, because I had to re-sign my deal because I was of age. My parents had to sign my record deal initially.
Fact.
So when I turned 18, I started making my second record, which was just a self-titled record, Jaci Velasquez. But at the same time, Sony Discos contacted me. Sony Discos. So I signed a record deal with them and with and then I re-signed my deal with Word. So Sony Discos, and I recorded my first record with them, which was Categarati.
What year was this?
That was 98. So So at that time when I signed that deal, I was making record after record each year. I was making either an English record or a Spanish record. So yeah, that was a crazy time because everything was happening so fast. It was so like a blur to me because I was constantly going, and I was like, am I speaking Spanish today or am I speaking English? What am I doing? So,
and were all your songs at that moment Christian or secular? Or?
Yeah, my music has always tried. I've always tried to push towards the truth, and the truth that God is love and God is always there for us, and we can always count on Him. So some of the songs were more inspirational. Some of them were, extremely like "De Creer en Ti" was about being in front of God, and I believe in Him no matter what. So, but yes, all my music has always been about encouraging people and pointing them towards truth, and that is the love of Jesus.
That's dope. It's funny because I showed my friend, my man Danny behind the camera, one of your songs, because I wanted to let him know who he was going to interview, and he was like, "It sounds like she's talking about breakups and boyfriends," but I'm like, "No, she's talking about like a boyfriend, but I think she's referring to God."
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah,
like imagine me. I showed him, imagine me without you.
Right,
so
right.
When you said, imagine me without you, I can't breathe, I can't live. Like, I don't think she's talking about a guy. I think she's talking about Jesus.
Yeah, about God. Yeah.
So in a way,
and some people can, and people can take it however they want. But I know what I was singing about. I know what I'm singing about. But what's interesting is on my second Spanish record, which was called Mi Corazón, I actually wrote it. I mean, I didn't write the song. Let me take that back. But I did a song that was about my parents' divorce, and it was called Como se cura una herida. So, thank you. But that was not about necessarily God, but it was about the pain of a breakup and watching my parents go through that. But what it taught me was that we can put our faith and our trust in relationship on this earth. But the only thing that we can truly count on is the love of God. So
facts. And it's crazy you say that because that's me and my dad's favorite song.
Really?
And whenever he puts it on, I don't know if he forgets or he already explained it to me, but he explains, "Oh, this song came from her parents divorcing."
Yeah.
My dad for the 100th time. Like, no, you told me this. But but he was like, it's crazy how she put her emotions in a song, and it's crazy how she went through that. I'm like, yeah, it's true.
It was a rough time. And what's interesting when I hear of like couples and marriages splitting, and it affects the kids forever. Like it's not something that just one and done. It's kind of like it affects Christmas. It affects Thanksgiving for the years and years to come. So it's hard.
You to this day?
Oh goodness, yeah. There are times when I'm like, should I spend can I invite my dad for Thanksgiving? Was that going to be weird? And it's been, 20 years. Or how many years has it been? Yeah, 23 years since they got divorced. So.
Did they ever get remarried?
Oh, yes.
Both of them?
Yeah, they're both remarried.
I'm sure that was tough too, right?
Well, sometimes it was harder for me when my dad got remarried because it's another female in the room.
Exactly.
And also, he has other kids, like stepkids, and I'm going, and I want them all to myself. But of course, I understand I have to share them.
Did you go to the wedding?
No, they didn't have a wedding. It was destination wedding thing. So.
Yeah, I'm asking you because I went to a similar situation, and I was just stubborn at the time, and now that I'm mature, I probably would have went, but I didn't go. So I didn't go to my dad's wedding.
It kind of feels like you're what's that word when you're like choosing one over the other, and you don't want to do that.
And it's like one of those, you're not my mom, like, well, you're not my dad, so it's like I didn't go.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, but now that I think back, I would have went just
just to support
because like you said, my dad didn't have a big wedding; he had something small.
Yeah,
because of the situation. But I would have went. Now thinking back, I would have went. But at that time, you're young, so I don't care. I'm not.
You're stubborn.
Yeah,
and proud, right?
My mom. Yeah. She's not gonna run my life.
Right?
So I didn't go, and that's why I was asking if you went, but.
Oh.
Looks like we both didn't go.
we didn't go. We're bad people.
Yeah, right. And it's also too because as growing up in a Christian family, divorce is like a big no-no.
Oh, I know, especially amongst Hispanic Assemblies of God people, because it's like you just don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. But this is in this day and age, thank God for grace. Thank God He has enough grace and it's sufficient for us. But it's like in this day and age, it's just become normal, and it's just not supposed to be that way.
Exactly.
So.
But now that it happened, it's like you got to deal with it. Now all you could do is just ask God for strength.
You have to extend grace because we're given grace so freely. We also have to extend it to others, and sometimes that's not easy, but we have to do that because we're so undeserving of it ourselves.
Exactly. And at one point, I've read that you went through a divorce as well, right?
Yeah, I did. When
in 2003.
In 2003. So, well, no, I got married to the guy in 2003. So I always say I accidentally got married and intentionally divorced. So, when in 2003 I married somebody, and then about a year and a few months later we got divorced, and he was a great guy. He just wasn't my guy.
You're not your type.
No, just not mine.
That happens, Well, I'm sure now that you was going through it, did you understand your parents more?
Yes, I did, but I think because I didn't have kids with the guy, it was like it was.
And the years wasn't longer.
Yeah, it was just a year and a few months. It was more like a live-in boyfriend kind of a thing. But and that sounds terrible, but that's kind of how it felt.
Well,
so yeah, so but it helped me have more grace, yes, for my parents and what they went through, and just how much it affects so many people. So.
Well, it's good that you learn a lesson from it. Some people to this day still hold that grudge.
I know.
And they don't. I know friends that they don't talk to their mom because of it, or they don't talk to their dad.
And life is too short.
That's
life
exactly
is
what
too
I told
short.
I think that phrase is the only phrase that helped me get over that situation.
Yeah.
That made me go, you know what? Life is too short. Let me go to the Christmas. Let me go to Thanksgiving. Let me go hang out with them. Let me, and it got to a point where it's like, okay, now it doesn't bother me no more.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have people at church be like, hey, they point at my stepmom. Before I couldn't even say stepmom, but now
really?
they were pointing at my stepmom and like, "Yeah, good." I'm like, "Yeah, we good now, bro." Before it's funny, like 11 years ago, like, "Nah, man, don't talk to me about him, man." I was wild, man. But there's all maturity, and life is too short.
Life is too short.
She makes my dad happy, and I just want to see my dad happy for the remainder of his life.
Right.
Life is too short.
How old's your dad?
He's 50.
Okay, my dad is 81.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have an older
kicking?
dad. Yeah, he is. He looks fantastic, and he still acts super young. But yeah, my dad's 81.
Wow.
And his wife that he's married to now, I think they've been married for 5 years, something like that. So, and he lives in Dallas, Texas now.
Oh, Dallas?
Mm-hmm. So, but he has a good relationship with my kids, so that's always fun.
Oh, that's good. That's the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And moving on, right? About your music career, I noticed also, I don't know if it was 2003, you sang at the White House for ex-President George W. Bush.
Yes.
How did that happen? Not everybody could say they sang at the White House.
3 times.
3 times? Oh, my bad. Flexing. She said 3 times.
No, 3 times.
And for the same president?
For the same president. For some reason, okay, the first time was because I went there. It was CCM. It was CeCe Winans was there. It was all Christian music artists. It was CeCe, me. Who else was it? I don't know. It was a bunch of people, and we sang in the White House for President Bush. I sang Un Lugar Celestial. Then the second time was when I was a part of it was El Último Adiós, which was written by Emilio Estefan and Gloria Estefan. Wow. So it was a bunch of Latin artists that we all did a compilation song.
Just you? It was,
no.
Okay.
But
that's still big.
But I sang the national anthem. So we were all there, but I got to sing the national anthem. So Emilio asked me to, so I did. And then the third time was when, man, why did I go for the third time? I don't know. He asked me to come and sing the national anthem.
And who calls? George Bush himself or his team?
Not George Bush himself.
Like, yo, Jackie, what up? It's me.
Can you imagine? Yeah. No, his team called me and they asked me to come and sing at the White House again and, sing the national anthem.
What's your parents say?
Oh, my goodness. Of course, they're so proud. And I took my older brother with me the third time. So we have a picture with my brother and I and George W. Bush and his wife, so Laura. So it's truly an honor, but it's just something that you kind of look back and you go, wow, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yo, what? Like, I don't even think J-Lo went to that White House yet. Like, you out here at 2003 going and singing for Bush?
Yeah, he I got to sing for him for a 4th time. I forgot about that now. Madison Square Garden.
Wow, y'all basically besties at this point.
At this point, we're besties. No, because he was doing the Republican National Convention thing, so I sang there as well. So.
And when you go, do they choose the songs for you? Because it is still the White House, or you just choose the song?
I choose the songs. They let me choose the songs.
And George Bush didn't care, or the White House didn't care if it was religious?
No, they didn't care at all. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So, he has a Christian background and stuff.
He does.
Yeah.
But you know how they made it a big deal for Obama and the whole Muslim thing? And,
yeah.
So I figured the same thing will be for George Bush and religion and the White House. I don't know,
I don't know.
That's good that you chose your own songs.
I know, yeah. He, I just find it to be just an honor, the fact that not everybody gets to do that. So I'm happy I got to be the one to do that.
Yeah, shout out to Jackie for that. And as you came out with more albums, is there anybody out here that you wish you would have worked with, but you didn't get a chance to?
Okay, there's only one person left that I haven't worked with that I really want to work with. Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie?
Uh-huh.
Raitt.
I love her. Yeah, she's a blues artist. She is, she's my favorite. Like, she's the only person I still haven't met that I want to meet one day.
Yeah, and why do you think that never happened?
I don't know. Paths never crossed. And the funny thing is, have you ever heard of Keb Mo? He's a blues. Yeah. So his son and my son have been in school together since like 2nd grade.
Really?
So
here
in Nashville. So here in Franklin. So so I know Keb, and he works with Bonnie all the time. So I told him the other day, I was like, next time she comes into town, you have to invite me to your house so I can see her because I have to meet her. So that's my last one, yeah.
Yeah? Uh-huh. So you said you worked with everybody. Did you ever work with Marco Sweet?
Yes, I have. I worked with him.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Okay. And mostly the other Christian singers as well.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah. Typically, we all kind of run in the same circles.
Really? What about Toby Mac?
Of course. Yeah, I worked with him. I recorded up. He wrote a couple songs for me on my 2nd record.
Yeah?
Yep. Toby.
You know, there's a new rapper out called, well, not new, but he's like the newer generation after Toby Mac, called Andy Mineo.
I don't know him.
Have you ever heard of him?
I don't think so.
Andy Mineo. He has that. Well, he has one song. It's called "Coming in Hot," and it's been like everywhere, literally.
Really?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I
don't know it.
Kim Kardashian used it as one of her modeling photo shoot songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for him.
He's with Lecrae.
Oh, Lecrae.
Yeah,
of course, I know Lecrae.
Yeah. They go on tour together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's Spanish too, Andy Mineo.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta put you on. I got Andy Mineo. He's dope.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, he can spit. And
he can spit.
Yeah, he knows. He got bars too, like just like Jackie. But I think Lecrae, I don't know the situation there, but Lecrae basically has been, they've been
maybe
together.
His mentor.
Yeah, probably his mentor. I don't want to say he put him on, but Lecrae and him has been touring together a lot.
Okay, cool.
And selling out
and
shows.
Lecrae is cool.
Yeah, he's been out for a while.
Yeah, he has.
And he's still doing this thing. So I would consider him the old which why I feel like that's his mentor.
Right.
But yeah, they both been doing their thing. But it's crazy you never heard of Andy Mineo.
I haven't.
Nah.
Golly, what?
Where you been at?
Do I live under a rock? I think I do.
No,
I do.
You just live in Nashville. That's the Nashville popping is lit out here. And besides music, I know you've been also in a dozen movies.
Yeah.
A lot. But there's always one that always sticks out for you. I'm assuming you already know which one I'm about to say. Chasing Papi.
Of course. Of course.
Nah, that was the reason why I say that, right?
Because it's a cult classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. It was with Sofia
Vergara and Rosalind Sanchez and Eduardo Verástegui.
Yeah, the man that played it. And now the reason why I bring up that movie is because at that time you was doing your thing, and then you did Chasing Papi, and you got criticized a lot for that.
Oh, big time.
Big time. Right?
Got a lot of criticism. And what's funny is the film was originally PG-13. So the director, she really wanted me to do the film. I said, we have to clean some stuff up. I can't be in a film that's PG-13. I'm a Christian singer. So the film ended up being PG. So she cleaned up. Yeah, it's PG. She cleaned a bunch of stuff up for me. And I was like, it's still people
but doesn't that
still.
That kind of gets me frustrated. I don't know if it gets you frustrated. Is you're like the only one who gets criticized just because you have that Christian singer in your name.
Yeah.
Does that bother you?
Well, to whom much is given, much is required. So I remind myself, looking back, I think to myself, okay, there were a lot of young girls who were looking up to me, that I was kind of their role model. So I should have taken that more seriously because of the fact that, parents trusted me with their kids and with their daughters to okay, that's someone you could be like when you grow up. So I always try to, so yes and no. It's totally a bummer, but to whom much is given, much is required. So I was given so much, and I was given this platform, and you have to protect the platform that, God has given you. So it's yes and no. It's both.
Yeah, man. Like what Jackie says, I wipe my tears with the check. Say no. Because that was like a Hollywood. It was. I remember seeing it in theaters.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because you say that, but I went to go see it with my sister. So in a way, it wasn't like that bad. Because my sister was very like, no, we're not seeing that movie or that movie or that movie or that movie is rated this, is rated that. But when Chasing Papi came out, I was like, oh, let's go see it. Jackie's in it. So
really?
So it was like.
That makes me happy. Thank you.
And I remember, and my sister's the type to walk out if it's too crazy. She's
right.
One of those.
Okay, raunchy?
Yeah, I think we walked out a 40-year-old version. Yeah, she was one of those. And
okay.
If it gets too crazy, but we didn't walk out, so I guess she liked it. It wasn't too crazy. But it bothers me too to this day where I see people get criticized just because of their religion.
I know.
And I'm sure you heard it all back then, right?
Oh gosh, yeah, I heard. I mean, people started canceling me coming to their events, and I was like,
Jackie was
getting canceled.
Jackie dealt with the cancel culture before it was a thing.
Right before COVID,
yeah.
I dealt with cancellations because.
Really?
Oh yeah, well, because especially the people that were pretty legalistic, yeah, they had issues with it, And so they canceled, my appearances at their events and stuff like that. But, you know, let me put it to you this way. I had so much fun making that movie because of the fact that it taught me so much. Also, I developed like a sense of like structure because I had to wake up at 3:30 a.m. and I would get on the treadmill, run for an hour, half an hour, get showered up because I had to be on the set at a certain time. Otherwise, you get penalized. So,
wait, so as an actress, you get penalized for being on set late?
Yes, you get penalized. Oh. So you have to be there on time. So because I'm not typically the person that has to be on time, like I don't mind being late to stuff. It actually helped me develop a good structure of being on time and really, and just being responsible with that stuff.
And it's crazy because your character in that movie wasn't the worst. I think Sophia played like the slut. And then the other one played some, I think,
serious. She was real serious.
And you played more like the
nice debutante.
One.
Debutante.
The nice one that was like, no, And for the people who don't know, what was it about? Jaci Papi was a guy dating three girls?
Yeah, he was dating all three girls, and none of us knew about each other. And then we found out about each other, and we wanted to get him. So
it's like John Tucker must die in a way.
Exactly.
But that's crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, you live and you learn, right?
Yeah, you live, you learn. And with this is what I always say. With every choice, there is a consequence, be it good or bad. With every choice, there's a consequence. Sometimes the consequence is good, sometimes it's bad. But that's just always something to live by. So for me, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done the movie. But I'll tell you what, when we did the red carpet, I felt like a princess. So it was fun. It was fun.
Where was it? In LA?
No, it was actually in New York.
Oh, New York.
Oh, we did 3 red carpets. We did LA, New York, and Miami.
And that's for the movie premiere?
Yeah, for the premiere. So it was fun.
Yeah, I've been to a couple like movie premieres in LA and it's dope. Even though I'm not in the movie, you feel just like a prince or a princess on the red carpet. Right, Danny? We went to the Meet the Blacks. It was crazy. He even Danny was like, yo, this is crazy.
This is crazy.
And you got to do it 3 times for the movie premiere?
Yeah, it was fun. That's for sure.
Do you still talk to any of them to this day?
No, I don't. We don't keep. Oh, I do. Actually, that's not true. I talked to Eduardo a while back. He came into town, and so we all tried to hook up. But I was so pregnant at the time that I was like,
does he still look the same?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some let themselves go, some don't. Some
Oh, Eduardo, he's very handsome.
He's still chasing Papi out here.
Oh, and I saw him again we did a People en Español thing. Oh. Yeah, I saw him. And yeah, he's a sweetheart. He actually had a change in his life, and he became a Christian.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's the last I heard. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Is there any future movies you feel like being in, or if an offer came, would you do it?
Yes, I would. Actually, I'm looking at 2 different scripts right now, but they're faith-based films. Okay. So, one is a comedy, which looks really fun, and I don't feel like there are enough Christian comedies.
No, is it?
So they're always really serious, and I mean,
I'm trying to think of one now.
Right?
In Love with a Church Girl with Ja Rule and the other. No, that was like a serious. Oh, I think Left Behind ones are serious.
Oh, super serious, yeah.
The Encounter, you did Encounter, right?
I did The Encounter.
That was serious.
That was serious, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There isn't no comedy Christians out here.
So I'm looking at a film right now. It's a Christian comedy. So I'm hoping that gets funded.
And not even Christian comedy, Christian actors or actresses at that. We need more. We need more of those.
I know.
Well, there's not that many of those.
I don't think so.
But speaking about you getting criticized, do you feel like at one point in your career, since you got criticized the most just for having a Christian singer, that you would decide to like take away that term, or do you feel like your career would have been bigger if it didn't have that Christian singer term? If it was just Jaci Velasquez?
Well, I could never hide who I am and what I believe, so I'm a Christian singer. So, I mean, I can't be anything else because God gave me the gift to sing. So if he gave me the gift, I always feel like if God gives you a gift, you should use it for his glory, not for my glory. but for His. And that's just what I always hoped to do. So, yeah, I'm a Christian singer because I'm a Christian.
Nah, that's deep. That's deep. No, because you know how some people will actually sell out and be like, you know what? And I've seen it. Some rappers or singers go from beginning, because supposedly I think Beyonce started out as a Christian singer.
Yeah.
And then she, kind of drifted to her lane. So,
Well,
a lot of people, I think Christina Aguilera too. She started out as a
Christian singer.
Yeah, and then kind of like, yeah. So you know how that
Jessica Simpson too.
Yeah, Jessica Simpson. Her dad, she was raised as a Christian household, and so that's why I feel like some people will do it and still keep their faith, but career-wise, be like it won't be good to mention religion.
Well, I think for those people, that's because it's a vocation versus a ministry. So, like for me, music has been ministry. It's like you hope that your songs will touch someone's heart to point them towards Jesus, towards God. So it's been Christian entertainment, but still ministry. So for other people that are Christians that make music, they're not doing anything wrong by not being a Christian singer or not singing Christian music. It's their vocation, it's their job. So for me personally, I never saw it as my vocation. I felt that it was my ministry. So.
And I feel like the same thing with me too. Like there's been times where I posted something about God or Jesus on my Instagram, and I have people reply to me saying, "Oh, I was a big fan of you, and I'm gonna unfollow you. Jesus is not real." I've had people do that. There's times where like I'll be at an event or I'll be like, "God bless everybody, Merry Christmas," or I'll post something that has to do with Jesus or God. And I've had people say that, like, "Oh, I'm an atheist. Jesus is not real, but now I'm gonna unfollow you or block you." And I'm like, wow, people really like now I see why certain people would prefer not to talk about the religion or just be private with it.
Well, the thing about Christianity and faith and Jesus, it's such a powerful name, the name of Jesus, that it can offend because of the power that is Jesus. Exactly. So, and it's sad that I think it's actually interesting that people would do that to you, because that means that they're searching for something, but they just don't know what they're searching for. So that's an opportunity for them to maybe kind of question what they're looking for. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, and when I said, I'm like, oh, well, I'm bummed that I lost a follower, but like you said, I can't hide who I am.
No, you can't
If he was mad that I posted about God, and he's going to get mad about
everything else.
Yeah. It's true. Why'd you make that movie? I'm going to block you now. Like, I'm sure he would have been one of those. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, something like that. It doesn't matter. If he blocked me now because of that, he was bound to block me in the near future.
Yeah, people are going to get offended no matter what.
Yeah. And going back to your music career, right? When was the last album you took out?
2017 was a record called Confío.
Okay.
Trust. So it was a double disc, same record, in English and in Spanish.
Was that the one where you had short black hair?
No, that one was Unspoken.
Unspoken, okay.
Was that Unspoken? Yeah, Unspoken. So that was. God,
when did I do that one? That was like a whole new look.
Yeah, I changed my hair for that, but I don't remember. Anyway, but the last record I did was Confío, Trust, which is, English and Spanish double disc. So that came out in 2017, and I wrote a book that came out in 2019.
And it was named Script.
When God Rescripts Your Life.
When God Rescripts Your Life. Yeah, I have it, and I read it, and it's dope.
Thank you.
I like it. When God Rescripts Your Life. What year you wrote that in 2017, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
But I think it came out when did it come out, though? I can't remember.
I'm not going to lie. I got it recently, so I wouldn't know. I didn't get that when it first came out. I got it recently.
Okay. So I think it was 2019. Anyway, point is, so yeah, that I did that record, Confío, and then went into When God Rescripts Your Life, and I started doing books, like events, promoting the book. And then, of course, the pandemic hit, and then everything changed and got canceled.
It changed for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, you went to water?
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, after you did that last album in 2017,
17.
why'd you stop making music?
Well, mostly because the pandemic hit, but I haven't totally stopped making music. I just kind of, I don't know. My husband and I have been helping a church in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I just
Wow.
have felt this calling to help with worship and to just to serve people, to serve and love them well and have community. So, but yes, I'm sure I'll make more music coming up.
That was my next question. When is Jaci Velasquez coming back?
Okay, so yeah, I think if the next thing I do, I would like to do something in Spanish. Okay. Because for me, singing in Spanish is my heart. English is my first language. My heart, when I get to sing in Spanish, it does something different to just even the way I sing.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah, like if you ever listened to my stuff, if you like A-B, my vocal in Spanish and English.
My favorite one is Un Lugar Celestial.
In English or in Spanish? Spanish.
And On My Knees in Spanish.
In Spanish, Te creo en ti in Spanish, okay? Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. That makes me happy.
I could go on like Como se cura una
Como se cura?
Which are the ones I be listening to? That one and there was one too that my brother put me on because my older brother and my older sister, they put me on to everything that's Christian. So my brother and my sister had all your CDs.
Did they?
So it would be a point where, hey,
they have good taste.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey sis, which was the one you were listening to yesterday? Oh, it's such and such. All right, so I'll go in the room, take a CD and download it. And be, okay, I'm gonna listen to this now. Give it back to her. But it was it was Un Lugar Celestial. Creo en ti, como se cura una herida, and
Imagine. That was Louis. I did it in English. He did it in Spanish.
There was one. Then it's gonna bother me. I remember it once. My friend, let me see.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
It does,
it's the worst.
But I have to because it's you. I have to. And that's one of my favorites. To this day, it reminds me. I listen to it, and you know how music can bring you back to that certain moment.
Oh, for sure.
And it brings me back to that nice moment where my brother would visit from college for the weekend, and we'll go out, and he'll listen to you, and that song in particular, he'll play on a repeat. And it brings back that memory, 2006, 7, 8, where he would come. You know, it was good times. I like that feeling. That feeling. It's called
music is powerful. It can transport you into it's a powerful thing. I understand completely.
Oh, lo que nunca cambiaría.
Lo que nunca cambiaría por tener.
He would play that on repeat all night, and it just stuck to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all gotta listen to that. And now when I listen to it on my own, it brings back those memories.
So one of the songwriters on that song is John Cicada.
Oh, really?
Lo que nunca cambiaría. And he actually produced my vocal for that song.
See,
so it was cool.
People don't understand. Singers do need help with writers and beats.
You have to.
It's like you can make one or two on your own, but it's like you need a team.
Yeah, because having different opinions and having different thoughts and different ideas is just, it's valuable. So having a producer, having different songwriters to collaborate with, it's just, you have to do that. That's how you can stay fresh. That's what it is, to stay fresh.
Maybe ideas will come out, something better, and you feed off that idea.
Correct.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to have a ghostwriter, or I don't want a writer at all. Like,
no.
But like music is like art. You gotta
yeah, you have to constantly be evolving too. So, and that's the hardest thing is, evolving. And then people don't like when you change. They're like, oh, I prefer it this way. But you have to constantly be evolving. Otherwise, you get stagnant.
Yeah.
So
that's a fact. And you're on social media, right?
Yes, yeah. I am.
You was telling me off camera that you don't really be on it as active.
I forget.
But I was telling you, as a singer or entertainment, you gotta be on it, Jackie.
I know, but
you don't want people to forget about you.
I know. Okay, you're right. But the thing is, sometimes like I'll go, oh, I should take a picture of this, and then I'm like, but if I take a picture of it, it's like I want to live in it. So yes, I will do better because I know I need to.
But not only that, could be music wise. If
yeah,
you keep posting like TBT, Throwback Thursdays, your old classics, and share a memory. Oh, I remember this. I said it was yesterday. People would love that.
I know.
And I'm not gonna lie. I went on your page. I'm like, yo, she should have way more followers. And then I started noticing, yeah, she don't post. She's one of those that don't like posting. I noticed that because the time gap difference.
I'm sorry.
Like, one will be in December, and then the other one will be in June. I'm like, that's like 6 months. That's like 6 months, and before June will be like a year ago, like December 2018.
Mike, okay, that's what it is. You're here, and we're doing this because you're gonna help me figure out how to do this.
I'm gonna post it on my page, tag you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Jaci Velasquez has an Instagram." Cause I'm one of those. I check Toby Max. I check T-Bone. I may check Lecrae's. I'm like, man, T-Bone should have way more followers.
T-Bone. Oh my gosh, I saw him. Like it was before the pandemic, of course, but I saw him a while back. He's still in California.
Still?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite Christian rappers growing up. I'm like, yo, he's so hard. Like his gangster rap. I'm like, yo, I wouldn't even think it was Christian. Because my dad would try to put me on Christian music. I'm like, Dad, nah, I'm about to listen to Lil Wayne or like, nah, listen to this.
T-Bone.
Somebody's son gave it to me. And I don't know about rap, but let me see, you probably like it. I'm like, who is this clown? I'm like, I'll give it a listen. And I played it. I'm like, yo, it became my favorite.
T-Bone.
I bought every album after that.
Where is he from? Is he Ecuadorian?
He's Salvadorian. I know because he says it in his songs. I'm like, and he raps Spanish and English. And
yes,
that's the only rapper that really caught my attention. Like, yo, I could listen to this.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Because I've listened to other Christian rappers and it was like, nah, not for me. But his was like, yo, at that time,
he's legit.
Lyrics mattered. Now, I mean, of course, the hip hop game changed. That was all about drill music and mumble rap. But back then, it was like 2008 when he came out, and I was like, yeah, I'm a fan. And to this day, cool. I'm a fan. So when I went to go see him, he's another one. He's not active on the gram. I'm like, T-Bone.
Like, what? Okay. Yeah, you're right. We need to get more active on our Instagrams and stuff. But it's just, sometimes like, I'm like, this won't be that interesting.
But don't you have 2 kids at that age that know about social media? Like social media?
No, they're 12 and 14 and they're not allowed to have phones.
Really?
Or iPads.
Really?
Or accounts.
Wow.
Because it's like, because I got to protect them because this world is so crazy.
No, it is.
And the stuff that I always tell my kids this, be careful what you see because you can never unsee it. It will be there forever.
I'm not to like make it worse for them, but I've seen stuff on MySpace that I'm never going to forget.
It's like there's some crazy stuff. People are crazy. So I'm just going, let's just guard you as long as possible.
And it's even more that you should protect them because you was letting me know that one of them is autism. Right? And
my 14-year-old, he's autistic.
Yeah, how is he living with an autism son?
You know, he's awesome. He can sometimes, like, I have to remind him to calm down because some people with autism have like different thrashes. So for him, it's like this. When he's really excited about something, he'll just kind of.
For people who don't understand what autism means, I don't really understand it. I don't know if it's when people just start like moving crazy, or is that Tourette's?
That's Tourette's.
Okay.
But
what's autism?
Autism is just that their brain functions differently. So, the toughest thing about autism is there's no autistic person that is like the other autistic person. They're all unique. Every single one of them. Sometimes some autistic people are nonverbal. Some autistic people are highly functioning. They just have a little like kind of quirk about them. You know, just something. So it's always different. My son, he can watch a movie once and he can recite the entire film back to you. But if you ask him, hey, so how was school today? Good. I don't want to talk. That's it.
Oh, really?
That's all you get. So it's like he's different. But yet he is so delightful. He forgets to say hi when he walks into a room.
Yeah, I must have it because that was me growing up. My mama whooped my ass.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, he's 14 and he is the most kind human being. Because if you say, Celine, can I take a bite of that? Sure. He won't look at you to tell you, but he'll just let you have what.
Wow.
You can ask him for anything and he'll give it to you. So it's just, they're just unique and rare. I always tell his little brother, your big brother's unique. He's rare.
He don't get it at the moment.
He gets it. Okay. We recently had to tell little brother about.
How old is he?
He's 12.
12. Okay.
Yeah. So he when I told the little brother that his big brother's autistic, that's why he has certain quirks about him. He cried, the younger one, because he goes, because to him, his brother's just always been his brother. He doesn't know him to be, different. But I said sometimes people will realize that your brother is different. You have to protect him, because even though you're the little brother, you have to protect him, because some people may not understand him and could be ugly to him or mean to him or call him names. So you have to make sure that you watch out for him. So
that reminded me too, because the rapper Fat Joe?
Yeah.
He has an autism son.
Does he?
And he said he finally started posting him more, but in the caption when he first did, I think last year, because I grew up with my son and I never posted him because I want to hide him from this cruel world.
Yeah.
But I got to an age where it's like, I want to show him off.
Yeah.
So I don't care no more. So he started posting more of his son.
About his son, yeah.
And I thought that was cool. Like, but at the same time, it's like it sucks that his whole life. So I think he's like 16 now. That he had to hide him.
That he was
because how cruel the world is, especially social media. You can write anything under those pictures. And
I know.
So I understand him now. I understand you too on why you wouldn't want them to have accounts. Because even Fat Joe is a gangster rapper. He had to kind of like have his son in the shadows. Protect. But now he's like, I don't care no more. This is my son. He's posted so many, like once a week about him now.
Really?
Yeah, and he's autism, and that reminded me of that. I feel like you're the only two that I know that has an autism son.
You know who else has a child with autism is Faith Evans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, she has a kid with that's autistic, and I think because my kids love Masked Singer. So we always watch Masked Singer, and when they unmasked her, she talked about her son.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. That's good that y'all going through it with them, but still embracing it.
Oh, for sure.
Shout out to all the parents out there with autism sons and daughters.
Yeah.
And before we head out, is there anything you want to tell the people, like anything future that's coming out from Jaci Velasquez, or any last words?
Okay, I will make more music. I just haven't had time. Because we've been traveling, going back and forth, helping this church, and then the kids want my attention. My kids all want my attention all the time, and they're always around, and they make too much noise.
We want your attention too, Jackie. The fans want your attention.
So yes, I'll make more music, probably in Spanish more than anything. More than anything, thank you so much for your support.
I appreciate
and
you for
constantly
and do this, because for me, growing up in a Christian household, it was an honor. And I've had like Fetty Wap, I've had other rappers, but for me, this is like my favorite one. You feel me?
I get the prize.
It's this. So I appreciate you for coming, and hopefully we get more music from you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I got you. It's your boy Mike Ruga with Jaci Velasquez, the legend, and we out.